What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel. Wanted to give you a recap of the Penn State spring game, kind of give you my thoughts on this game and how it maybe affected my opinions on this Penn State team heading into 2019. And I think I said the same thing last year. I remember doing a recap on Penn State spring game, and I said that the stuff around the game was actually more entertaining to watch than the game. This was a pretty boring spring game, just like it was last year. We really didn't learn a whole lot about Penn State really in this game, but they had the cool moment where they gave the kid the scholarship. They had the Special Olympics touchdown. There were some things like that were actually more entertaining than the game. And I'm sure if you're a die-hard Penn State fan, you're probably analyzing every position and looking at all these different players. But just as a college football fan, yeah, the spring game was pretty vanilla. We didn't see a lot of big plays. We didn't see really a whole lot of excitement. But there were some good things here. Big issue on why this game didn't really tell me a whole lot is because we didn't see Tommy Stevens. He still is recovering from his foot injury. He is the front runner for the quarterback job, but I think Sean Clifford definitely has a shot. I know many Penn State fans have commented on videos saying that they think Sean Clifford is going to be the guy at quarterback. He was 11 for 19 in this game, 118 yards and a touchdown. So he was solid, and he looked, very capable of running this offense. Pretty good showing for him. Obviously not the runner that you're going to get when you get from not the same type of runner that Tommy Stevens is. So that's something I think could hold him back a little bit. But just as a passer, yeah, he looked pretty solid in this game. I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with Noah Cain, and he got a lot of work in this game. 12 carries, 45 yards, had a touchdown in there as well. Ricky Slade is the go-to guy, in my opinion, at running back. He is going to be the guy. And speaking of Sean Clifford, he actually did run for 33 yards in this game on 6 carries. So, I mean, he's a capable runner. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's a pass-first guy where Tommy Stevens might be a run-first guy, just kind of the way I see it when I compare these two quarterbacks. This Penn State roster really took a big hit. They lost a lot of guys. They had several guys leave early to go to the NFL. I think they had 14 players. That may not be the right number, but I'm thinking it was 14 players transfer. So this roster is really going to be wiped out from what it was last year. And that does concern me a little bit if I'm a Penn State fan. The offensive line, I thought, could use a little work. They weren't great in this game. The quarterbacks were under a lot of pressure. The number one defense, they didn't go out there and just shut down the number two offense. So the defense, I think they're going to be solid, but I don't know if they're going to be as good as they were last year. And just overall, that's just kind of my impressions on this Penn State team. They're going to be good. They'll probably be a top 25 team, but I just don't see them really being good enough to make a run at the Big Ten championship. Maybe they're a year away. They lost some very talented players. They lost their leader in Trace McSorley. So I just think that this year is going to be maybe a little bit of a rebuild year. I'm not saying rebuild because they're going to have talent. They're going to have a good team. But I don't think they're going to be able to get to that level. And I really think they missed their chance a couple of years ago. If you've followed me, I picked Penn State to win the national championship in 2017, and they lost 2 games, each game by 1 possession. If just one of those games would have went their way, perhaps they would have went on to the Big Ten championship game and into the playoffs, but that was just a missed opportunity. And then last year they weren't quite as good. They were a good team last year, but I thought they dropped off just a little bit, and I think they're going to drop off again this year and maybe hit rock bottom, which again I don't think's rock bottom. I mean, they're going to have a good team. But maybe from this point on, they can start building it back up and maybe build back to a championship run. So that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. Penn State may go out and win the Big Ten, but I don't think that's going to happen. Again, I think they take a little bit of a step back this year and just get some of these young guys going. Again, this is going to be a young team, a lot of new faces. I'm a big believer in James Franklin. I think he's one of the better coaches in college football. Going back to his days at Vanderbilt, he did an excellent job there, and he's done a good job here at Penn State. We will just see what this team looks like in 2019. But I'd love to get your thoughts. What did you think about the spring game? What were your takeaways? If you're a Penn State fan, what did you like? What did you not like? Again, I didn't didn't really gather much information from this spring game. Nothing, I would say the one thing that going into the spring game that I feel different about or better about is Noah Cain. I feel like he is going to be a really good running back, a future star at Penn State, but I still think Ricky Slade will be that number one guy. And they've got several backs there that are going to be capable. So this is a team that's going to be able to run the football if that offensive line can produce for them and improve a little bit. That I think is going to be their bread and butter, especially if Tommy Stevens is the quarterback. You add his running ability in there as well. This could be a tough team to stop on the ground. And I think they'll have a good defense, but maybe just not a great defense. Again, your thoughts are down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports Big Ten Football Channel.